Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Any Kind Media. We are your hosts. My name is Ocean Subiono.
I'm Taylor Vieira.
And today we are going to take a look at the new movie, Everywhere, Everything, All at Once. This is a movie that we saw
Everything,
together.
everywhere, all at once.
What did I say?
You flipped it.
I said everywhere, everything?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
At least I think you did.
That's what happens when you take a break from podcasting and go on a
So what happens when you watch this movie?
Or that, yeah, that too. But yeah. So as you guys can see, this is the movie that we are giving our take on today, and we watched this movie together 2 weeks ago.
No, we didn't watch it together.
We didn't watch it together.
This is when I watched this when you left.
Oh yeah, you're right. We watched Unbearable Talent or whatever.
Yeah, you watched this one
Yeah.
shortly after it came out. I didn't watch it till a little while.
That's right.
after.
I watched this with my family. That's right. And then I went on a trip, so there's a little bit of break in recording, but excuse me. So now we're finally getting to the review, and this is gonna be a good one because I tell you right now, this movie is amazing.
Agreed.
But just so you guys know, as always, the first portion of this episode is going to be just focused on giving a normal review without any spoilers. Let you guys know whether you should watch it. We'll give it a score, and then we'll get into the spoilers. So if you guys are not interested in spoilers, make sure you click off this video, go watch some of our other ones, or just go watch the movie and then come back and finish out the episode with the spoilers. So, like I said, this movie, amazing movie, right? Like,
Yep.
I mean, I
couldn't agree more, honestly.
yeah, like, dude, this movie, in my opinion, is easily one of the best movies of the year, and it's only May. Like, I think this movie will stand up against any other movie that comes out this year. That's how much I liked it. It was so good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, honestly, I think it definitely does have a really strong chance of winning quite a few awards.
I think it's gonna win a lot of awards, and just like from a entertainment standpoint, there's a lot of times like movies that win awards at the Academy or other awards. I don't know. I mean, sometimes the general population entertainment value isn't really there, right? Because they're more complex in the storytelling and the cinematography, and that's what they get the awards for, which I totally understand, and I'm not saying they shouldn't. I just think that sometimes you have to have a little bit more of a refined or educated taste in movies in order to appreciate some of the movies that get awards.
Yeah.
This one, no. This one caters to everything.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say
all
everywhere, all at once. Like,
he said that thing.
so it gives you the entertainment. It gives you the heart. Like, it pulls on your heart. It makes you emotional. It has great action. It's funny. Like, it's everything.
Hilarious.
It has everything in it, and I think it's a really, really good movie, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and for those of you who, I don't know how much longer it's going to be in the theaters, but if you have the chance, highly recommend going to watch it in theaters.
Yes.
And the trailer, honestly, I don't know, for me, the trailer, I like the trailer too, but it honestly makes more, I appreciate it more after seeing the movie.
Right?
The trailer makes way more sense after watching it.
I mean, even we just watched the trailer right before we started recording just to kind of refresh ourselves on a little bit. But, I was watching it and I was just like, oh, that's what that was. Because you watch, when you first watch this trailer, when it first came out, you're literally sitting there and you're just like, what is going on?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
I don't understand what's happening.
You don't understand. There's no way for you to understand what the plot is because everything in the movie or in the trailer is just all over the place. I mean, you understand it has to do with the multiverse, but you don't really understand what's going on. And then when you watch the movie and then you go back to watch the trailer, oh, that's what that was. Oh, now all this makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, it was so good, man. There's a lot of I don't want to say question marks, but there were a few things in there that I was just kind of like, what the hell is that? Or there's some really funny parts. And also I watched it with my family, so there's There's one part in particular I think you can
guarantee
you know
it.
exactly what I'm talking about. That was a little weird watching it with like my parents and my older sister and
I
stuff.
feel like
but
it would make it even more funny, but
it was. We were all cracking up, but you know, for some people, it might be a little awkward watching that particular part. I would say this movie. I don't know. Would you say it's kid friendly? I mean, like, I don't know.
I think it's more adult because it's not. I mean,
What's
it's
the
not
rating
like,
on it?
Let me see.
I know you have the IMDb.
It's R. Yeah, it's rated R.
Makes sense.
Which makes sense. It's not a hard R though. Like as far as R movie goes, it's not like serious.
There's very little blood.
I don't know if I would. It depends on the kid, honestly.
Yeah, I think the problem that I foresee is they just may not understand. You know,
yeah, I'm sure a lot of it
they may not
understand.
enjoy the movie because they don't understand what is happening. Because it does take a little bit of, it does take some. You have to pay attention and kind of follow the
and
movie.
even for the easy laughs, a kid probably wouldn't be able to because it's like adult humor.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe don't take your kids, but definitely you should go watch it. Go on a date night or go out with your friends.
If it's honestly, I think aside from that like one scene, like I think if you were going with one of your parents or both or with a significant other, great movie to watch.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, as far as everything that we reviewed, we're on episode 13 so far. This is probably going to have my highest recommendation, if I'm being honest. I think this is, and maybe it's just my particular taste in movies, I guess, but this is like easily so far the highest movie I would recommend. Like if you, out of everything we reviewed, if you said, hey, what movie should I go watch first, it'd be this one. You should like go
I mean,
tonight.
of everything that we've done, yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we can't really dive into it too much more without giving away any spoilers. So I want to make sure you guys experience it in its full. When I went into it, I didn't have any expectations or any knowledge, right? So I think that's the best way to experience it.
Yeah, just get in there.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away, but you definitely should go watch it in the theaters. I mean, as always, the theaters make movies that much better. But if you don't get a chance before it leaves,
I think this would still be really good outside of theaters.
Yeah, I mean, we're going on 2 weeks or more than 2 weeks now that it's been out, right? So
yeah, it's really close whether or not it's going to be available to you or not.
So, but if you have the opportunity to watch it at home, I think it's still 100% worth it to watch it at home.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. What's your score?
Oh man. It's kind of hard because I feel like of all the things I've recently watched, I want to give this a really high rating.
I know.
But I don't know if I'm not really comfortable doing that though.
Here's the thing. And this is something that we've talked about on a different subject in the past, which I won't specify what. But I don't think we can give anything a 10. Because
that's how I feel always.
Because I don't think there's a perfect movie out there. Right? Everything has a little bit of flaw here and
but
there.
I mean but if it depends on how we want to say what a 10 is.
Yeah.
So if we want to say 10 is perfect, of course nothing would have a 10.
Right.
But if we just want to say a 10 is just
the highest marks
pretty
we could
much
give
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Then but not necessarily perfect because nothing is.
Okay. Well then let's do that. And I'll start it then. Mine's a 10.
I mean, if that's the case, 100% 10.
Yeah, I mean this movie has, like I said, it has everything.
Yeah, this movie blew me away when I watched it. And I mean, you were like, because it came out and you had recommended it to me highly, and then after I watched it, I was like, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah,
like this, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it was an amazing movie, and I look forward to seeing it do well at the Oscars and other stuff because I mean, how could it not, man? The acting, like. Are you kidding me?
Everything
great about it. Acting, cinematography, storytelling, everything.
The music, animation.
Yeah. It was
everything
amazing.
came together and it was beautiful.
Yeah. So the cool thing, I think the coolest thing about this movie, before we get on to the spoilers, I think the coolest thing about this movie is that it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like almost. If you pay attention to movies and you follow, what's coming up and whatnot, you probably knew about it. And it comes from a little bit of a smaller studio. A24 Studios is a
They do a
little
lot
bit
of
smaller.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
usually like not strange, but like
Just kind of different,
yeah,
out of the ordinary, and this one is. But if you're the casual movie watcher or just an everyday movie watcher, this probably wasn't on your radar, but it definitely should be on your
Should
list
be.
to go watch. So
yeah.
yeah, all right. Now you guys have our score. This is the point in the video where if you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and click off of the video. Go watch some of our other reviews on other TV shows and movies, and then also go on your phone, go to whatever app you use to buy tickets or look for showtimes, and go ahead and find a showtime for you to go and watch this movie because it's that good. And now we'll give you our official.
Spoiler alert.
All right. Okay. I just want to get this off my chest right off the bat. Okay. Why did they have hot dogs for hands? Or for fingers? My bad. It should be for fingers. Why did it have to be hot dogs?
It was so funny.
Oh God, it was hilarious. But then the amount that it was
creepy.
in there, it just got too creepy and too.
Well, it was creepy near the end when they brought it back.
Yeah,
and then she was trying to
especially when it was her and Jamie, because it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. And what is the main actress's name? I can never remember her name, but she's like the quintessential female martial arts movie star, right?
Oh, sorry, Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh or Yao
like
or Yeoh.
It's like
what is it?
Yeoh. I don't know how you pronounce that.
But yeah, I mean, if you watch any
Asian movie ever with a female cast,
I mean, she was even in Shang-Chi for Marvel. Like she was in that. So
that's right.
She's in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She's in everything.
So Wars of a Geisha. I'm pretty sure Mulan. The new one.
I think so.
The bad one.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one. But yeah, so at the end of the movie, they start like making love.
Yeah, because she's trying to use like a new strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes to like one of that universe of everybody has hot dog hands, and they start like putting their
each
fingers
other's
in their mouths.
So I was like, oh my God, what is happening right now?
So funny.
Yeah.
I love this movie so much.
I'm going to tell you right now, Jamie Lee Curtis has to be at the very, very top of the list for the best supporting actress.
Oh, yeah. She was
in
awesome
any awards. Any awards that there is for movies, and they have a supporting actress category, Jamie Lee Curtis has got to be a nominee. If she's not, then you're just doing a disservice to every supporting actress ever, because she was phenomenal. Like in my opinion, I think she had the best performance of the movie, just because of what I know Jamie Lee Curtis to be. Like, I don't remember. I can't think of another role that is even remotely close to this.
No, I mean I don't know, this movie in general is just way out there.
So I think she just smashed the role, and I think she should be considered for every award that she possibly can be. So to give you guys a little bit more in-depth idea of what this movie is about, it's a multiverse-based movie where the main character, I have this really bad. Yeah, I have this really bad problem where I love the movie, like I love this movie, but I can't remember anybody's damn name. I think there's something wrong with me.
Probably.
Like, I can't remember names. Like, I remember their faces, I remember what happened, I remember everything, but I can't remember the damn name. Like, the character's name.
I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but Michelle Yeoh.
No, but like the characters.
Oh, you mean the character names?
Yeah, I don't remember any of their names. Like
for this movie, no idea.
I'm looking at this picture, and I'm like, I don't remember any of their names.
Yeah, and we just watched the trailer too.
Yeah.
And I still don't know.
So, but the main character is the mom. Michelle's the actress of, and it's centered around her. And to give a long story, because it is a long movie, to give a long story short, basically it's a story about a mom and a daughter.
It's basically the mom accepting her daughter.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
her.
it's an acceptance story because the daughter is gay or she's lesbian, and she accepted her. You know, she didn't like alienate her or anything, but she's also a very traditional Chinese
Yeah.
person, and in Chinese culture, it's not really acceptable. So there's a lot of little things that she does or says that makes her daughter feel unaccepted, and it trickles into all the other areas of their life. And the whole concept is that her daughter becomes disconnected from reality, basically, and across the multiverse. Like that person in the center that's covered up, the daughter. This is the daughter, but that's also the daughter,
her, yeah.
because the daughter is the main villain of the story, and then the mom is the protagonist. So it's basically a story about a mom and a daughter traveling throughout all these different universes, fighting each other, and just trying to learn how to accept each other and accept themselves for who they are,
Yeah.
and where they are in their lives and how they got there, right? Because
it does tie in a few other because it also ties in just like the family thing with her
Right.
father and then the husband and all that kind of stuff.
well, that's what I mean, is like because of the we'll call it fake acceptance of her daughter, it trickles into the rest of her life, because now she has to fake things around her father, so that kind of pushes her father and her away, and they were already disconnected because of the things that happened in her past,
Right.
with her moving away and stuff,
Which
and
also
then,
connected to the husband
Right.
with them getting married and then all the life decisions
Yeah.
they go through and stuff.
and so they're, I think it's just a beautiful story about a mom, we'll just say about a family just figuring it out.
Yeah.
And it was so relatable to me, because everybody's family goes through that on some sort of scale. It may not be a multiversal,
Yeah, not
that
as
a world might end if you don't
enormous.
figure it out kind of thing, but everybody's family goes through periods and times and tribulations of just trying to figure themselves out, and they just told it in a different way, with comedy and action, and I think because it was a different approach, it made everybody kind of like because it was such a different approach. Once the movie ended, you sit there and you think to yourself, oh, that's kind of like my situation.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, that relationship is like this relationship. And then maybe people walked away from that movie with either hope or a new way to figure things out with their family.
I thought it was interesting when I went to go see this movie. It was just filled with couples.
Really?
Like it was literally Scarlett and I, and then like just multiple couples throughout the movie.
Oh, wow.
And then when we finished the movie, I looked around. They were all like crying, looking at each other,
Yeah.
like like kissing and stuff. And it's like, wow, like this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very moving. Like
It's super moving. The things that happen in it are just, like I said, when they're happening on the screen, you sit there and they're like, holy shit, that's like me and this person, or that person and that
I
person.
think because it involves like the multiverse kind of
Right.
concept of it, and it shows so many different like people and jobs and all this kind of stuff. Yeah,
Right.
it adds to the effect of like I don't know. I mean, not like our professions or anything, but it just gives you that feeling of like, yeah, like you said, this was like me,
Right.
Like, or like this point in time in my life, that was me,
Right.
and it just amplifies it.
Dude, it was amazing. I couldn't get enough. I would 100% watch it again.
Oh yeah, I'll watch this multiple times.
And I gotta say it, we don't have a whole lot of multiverse movies and theories and stuff. I gotta say, this
They're
is
starting
a
to
pretty
pick up.
They are, yeah. I mean, obviously Marvel has one and whatnot, but I gotta say, this was really well done for being what we know to be a one-off movie, right? It's not
Yeah.
a series, it's not anything. So for a one-off movie to introduce the idea of the multiverse and then flesh it out and actually, give it substance within one movie, and they did really well. I mean, I even really like the way that you like travel the multiverse, right? Like you can access other views.
Yeah.
So
Very interesting.
yeah. What was your what was the part that made you go, what the most?
I mean, in that sense, it probably would be the hot dog
The
thing.
hot dog hands?
Just because I would never think of that.
Right.
Even though I probably have seen something similar to it before. But it's just not something I would normally imagine.
Yeah.
But everything else, like it... Yeah, I don't know. Like everything else was definitely like strange, but not that strange. To the sense that I would like was confused. There's some things that happen and it's just like, okay.
I mean, I didn't mean necessarily confusion. I just meant like just shock. You're just like, what the happening? Because for me, when there's two dudes running around trying to fight
shove
you
a thing up their
with
butt.
dildos in their ass, excuse my language, sorry.
It was really more of a butt plug, and that was only one of
Okay.
them. The other one had like a large tube
Yeah.
just shoved up in there.
Yeah. So in the movie, in order to access another version of you in a different universe, you have to do something random. Like if you pick somebody, say you needed somebody that had martial arts skills, right? A version of you in another universe that had martial arts skills. The computer or the program or whatever would find that person and be like, okay, in order to access this person, you need to do this. And the things that you had to do were just like random, ridiculous, like things that you would never do.
Yeah.
And these two guys that are bad guys, in order for them to access the person they needed to access, they had to shove a butt plug or something up where the sun don't shine.
You know what? Actually, the thing was that about that scene that actually bothered me was not even the fact of that's what was happening. It was the fact that why did both of them have to do the exact same thing?
Yeah,
Because that didn't like compared to every single other character, that made no sense. That
You're
they
right,
both
actually.
had the same cue to access that.
You're
skill.
right. That doesn't make sense when you think about it as they
Like
explain it.
I get it that it added to the
funny, the
being
comedy,
funny
and
comedy, but it didn't
the
make sense
ridiculousness.
according to the movie's rules.
Yeah.
Not
No,
really
you're
rules,
right.
but
Well,
yeah.
obviously they didn't specifically say, "Oh, there can't be two," but
It's
they
just
give the
they never showed multiple, so I just
Right.
assumed that everybody had a different thing.
Well, they give the implication that every person has a different action that needs to
Right.
happen in order to access them. So for two people
So,
to do
yeah.
the same thing, I mean, technically they were two different objects, so maybe it was. That's how
Yeah,
they
but
say it,
still-
but it's the same thing.
They
You
both
know?
shoved it up their butt and they
Yeah.
were fighting with it, and it was swinging around.
Yeah, they didn't just put it up there and then take it out. They
The whole time
left
they're
it in
fighting.
there while they're fighting.
Yeah,
So
you see
like
it the whole
they're
time they're
fighting with
fighting.
no pants on, and as they're like fighting and doing all the martial arts,
And
you
when
just see this.
when she beats them, it does a slow mo
Yeah.
of her because they both like are just flying at her, like trying to like kick her. You know, like one of those like
Yeah.
Mulan flying kick things, and they're both coming at her on different sides. So she does like it does like a slow mo of her dodging, grabbing
this-
both objects and ripping them out.
Yeah, and then that's how she defeats them. Yeah. I mean, at the time, I just remember sitting there with my family, and we're all just like, "What is happening?"
It's funny
Like,
because I mean I expected something like that to happen because the original in the beginning when Jamie Lee Curtis's character is like, look at this, and it has like awards on her desk.
yes,
Because she's like an IRS person, and it's just they're
it
clearly
looks.
butt plugs.
Yeah, it was a butt plug award.
And it's like that's funny on multiple scales. But I was like, that's gotta if they're emphasizing it, it's gotta come in later.
Some kind of foreshadowing
Yeah.
there. I honestly, I don't think I saw it as foreshadowing. When I saw it, I thought it was just a multi-layered joke, right? Because usually IRS people are stuck up, right? They're
Yeah.
usually like,
And they're all up in your
dickheads.
business.
yeah, they're all up in your business and they're stuck up. So it's like a multi-layered joke of, of course, their awards for being a good IRS agent would be something that you would, you know. But it does make sense now you say it that it was foreshadowing of something to come. So, there's
What was your favorite scene?
favorite scene.
Because I definitely know mine.
Really?
Yeah.
For sure. Really?
I mean, there's a lot. Everything is great in this movie, but I do have one particular scene that I just loved.
You know, I think my favorite scene is probably the hallway scene where we first get introduced to her daughter as the villain.
Oh, okay.
Because in the
With the
beginning of the
cops.
movie, they you meet the daughter, but she's not the villain, and then they talk about this big bad villain, right?
Yeah.
And they don't reveal who she is until like the middle of the movie, and then it comes out that it's her daughter, but a different version of her, right? And so, I think that when she gets introduced and she's killing all the people,
And the guy's
but
like,
in just like
"Ma'am,
random
you
funny
can't
ways.
be here," and
Yeah.
she does this like, "I can't be here," or "I'm not like I shouldn't be
Yeah.
here."
And then
then
she
he's just
like
like-
makes one guy turn into confetti,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Pulls out the giant dildo.
yeah, it starts whacking him around with it. Yeah, and that's probably my favorite scene if I had to guess or make a decision right now. What's yours?
That's good. My favorite scene, I don't know if anybody else is gonna feel the same way, is the rock scene.
Oh my god, you know what? That's
It's
probably
near
a
the end
close,
of the
like it's like
movie.
a top
It's
three.
in the third or the final portion of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's when she's trying to like
'Cause it's-
reconnect with her daughter.
The idea is that this the multiverse, right? So there's literally infinite possibilities. Anything is possible, and in one universe, they're rocks. Everybody is
Yeah.
rocks.
Like, cause it's like at the very end, she's like trying to stop her daughter from doing the evil thing.
Right.
And so they just start like flying through different universes, and it becomes she's
Yeah.
like, this is the one where humanity or Earth
It
couldn't
never-
sustain life,
yeah.
and there are no like living things, and so they're literally just rocks with googly eyes on them.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing.
Sitting next to
'Cause
each other.
It was
And it's
very
funny when-
emotional, but there's like no. Well, I mean, there is sound, but you just hear like wind and stuff, and it's all text,
Yeah.
like subtitles of
It-
them talking to each other.
It's funny
And then
because
they
she's
like she like turns.
yeah,
and
it's
it
like
moves
she starts
closer.
moving away.
And
She's like, "Don't
come
touch
near
me!" Yeah, no, don't
Yeah,
come
it
near
just
me.
keeps moving.
She's like, "You're my daughter." So funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my
that's
favorite.
probably that's up there for sure. Yeah, that was hilarious. And even the one scene that's not really funny, but I thought was just, again, it's probably just because it's Jamie Lee Curtis. But when she's fighting Jamie Lee Curtis, and like when Jamie Lee Curtis staples her forehead with the paper
Oh, in the
order
beginning?
to access another
Yeah.
person, and like that just whole sequence of events is just so great.
Because that was when she was like murdering people, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then I guess there is one funny part of that because the husband at that point, the main character Michelle's character couldn't access anybody else. Like she hadn't figured it out yet, and so the husband was like, "Oh, I guess you're not the Evelyn, that's her name, Evelyn."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I guess you're not the Evelyn that I was looking for." So he's like, "Okay, bye," and he like takes off he like disconnects, and he like hops over the little barrier, and she's standing there like, "Help me," and he just like disconnects and leaves her there, and it's so funny. But there's so many good parts.
Yeah.
I can't think of a
You know, it was also super funny.
Who's
Is the Rakakuni.
oh. Okay,
So it wasn't in the beginning. It's not as funny, but it's
Right.
funny when it comes in again at the end, and she's just
because
like,
she's going back
pissed
through
off.
and trying to right all the wrongs that she did throughout the universe, right? Because
Yeah.
as she was chasing her daughter through the different universes, she was inadvertently causing problems for everybody that she interacted with throughout the universes. So what he's talking about is she goes back to help the guy that because it's a raccoon instead of a
Well,
rat.
it's funny because in the beginning, she's trying to talk to her daughter, and she's like, "Oh, this is like that one movie, Rakakuni." He's like, "What? What? Ratatouille?"
Oh yeah.
So at first you just think it's like a language joke.
Yeah.
And then later on in the movie, no, they actually do that,
They
but
went
with
to
a
a
raccoon.
universe where
It
instead
is-
of a rat controlling
Yeah,
the guy,
instead of a rat controlling a chef, it's a
raccoon.
raccoon.
it's so funny.
It's so funny when she was pissed off and she just rips off the hat.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's a raccoon!" And then he gets stolen, and he's like, "No."
Yeah, he's like crying, and then in the end she comes back and she hops on the dude's
Yeah, when she's
head,
trying to make up
and she
for it.
tries to
She's like,
freaking
Grab
get
my
him.
hair. What? Just get on. And yeah, and they're like running and stuff, and it's
So funny.
It's so funny.
The best part about that is after the movie, and we were walking out of the theater, and my mom goes, "I didn't really understand the whole raccoon thing," and I was like, "What? What
Did
do you
she
mean?"
not watch the movie?
And she's like, what is Ratatouille? I was
I should never watch
what are you
Ratatouille,
talking about, Mom? I watched that movie probably like 30 times growing up. How do you not know that movie? She's like, I don't remember that movie. And I was like,
There's
oh
no
my
way.
gosh, Mom. It was so funny. We were all dying with laughter. Yeah, this is something we gotta watch again, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When it comes out on whatever Netflix or whatever it comes out on or whatever, we gotta watch it again.
Yeah. I think if anything, for like some people in the beginning, it might be so confusing, it might turn people off, but I promise once you get into the middle, it'll really start making sense and you'll start enjoying it.
Also, I also could see that if you're not a regular watcher of Asian type movies, you might get turned off a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because it does have a very Asian feel.
I mean, to me, it was good, but
yeah, I mean,
I could see for some people it might not be.
So
but
just get past that though, because
it'll make a lot of sense.
It makes up for it in every other possible way. So, yeah, man, I ain't got much more to say other than you guys should watch it. We should watch it again. And like I said in the rating, this is.
I wish that we could watch this on everything, everywhere, all at once.
He did it. Well, yeah, guys, thank you for joining us on this episode of Any Kind Media as we gave our take on the show or the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I want to make sure I got that right that time. But like we said, go watch it. Whatever you got to do. Even if you got to drive to the next town over to go watch it. Go watch the movie. Enjoy it. Have a good time. Have a good laugh. Hug your family after. All that good stuff. And
it feels like an adventure.
Yeah, it really does. It's amazing. So enjoy it. And when you do watch it, let us know what you think. Put it down in the comments if you agree with our take on the movie, and what did it make you feel? How did you feel as you were watching the movie and after? Did you feel like us? So thank you guys. We appreciate your guys' support as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode.
Bye, guys.